Many of the readers are likely to know the work of Tinto Brass, the Italian director of very specific intimate films. It was Tinto who saw and understood the beauty of a woman's body better than other men. And that is why a lot of piquant scenes in his films are devoted to a woman's go-in to the toilet for a small need, a playful look, a raised skirt, intimate avoidance of excessive attention. But the modern skirt is easy to pull up, thanks to the emancipation of the 20th century and the struggle for women's rights, which often makes the modern skirt resemble a loincloth. In the Middle Ages and Renaissance, things were quite different, given the sheer number of opulent garments worn by noble women. Can you imagine what had to be done to sit down? To remove or lift a great variety of fabric, the number of skirts was up to 8 pieces. To hold the edges, to keep your balance, a whole complex of special operations, which very often ended very sadly in the case of a lonely struggle with nature, taking into account the presence of special frames for giving the right shape to the bodies. This event was a real acrobatic etude, as a result of which the fashion to go to the toilet in a friendly female company appeared even then, and the process itself lost beauty and grace. Almost all Renaissance artists shared Tinto Brass's beliefs. For example, in a painting by the famous French artist François Boucher, written in the 18th century, a noble lady, having raised a great number of skirts, spends her natural need in a special bowl, bordalou, which had the greatest popularity at that time. And it is this bowl which again unexpectedly began to gain popularity in the 21st century will be the heroine of our article. Bordalou. Science rushes to the aid of the ladies. What was a bordalou? A luxuriously decorated porcelain or glass bowl of oblong shape with a wide, raised spout at the front and a convenient handle at the back to support it during the process. A special fashion of the time was to equip the bordalou some piquant inscription, because the purpose of the object guessed at once and therefore attracted the attention of men. For example, among Russian bordalou, one can single out a bowl from the St. Petersburg Museum collection. At the bottom of the bowl was depicted a human eye, under which there was a beautiful inscription, "He is watching you, naughty boy." The very first bordalous appeared at the very beginning of the 18th century and quickly became commonplace. According to legend, the reason for the appearance of the name of the object is attributed to a male preacher, Louis Bourdelle, who lived and worked at the court of Louis XIV. If you believe the story, the Catholic priest read such long Sunday sermons that the ladies simply did not sit through to the end and were forced to take special bowls, which began to jokingly call respectively, twisting the name of the overzealous clergyman. The First Lady of the Bedchamber. To hold such a cup with noble hands is not a matter of noble blood. That is why the honor of holding the bordalier and faithfully looking into the eyes of the Empress herself went to a special woman, the First Lady of the Bedchamber, who was selected exclusively from noble families. For this position, in the British Isles, there was the strictest selection, because to keep the main secret of the Queen or Empress that she is just a person, the business of only the most steadfast and noble women, besides, with whom, as not with the First Lady of the Bedchamber, to share some personal passions. During the necessary morning meetings, to work with a bordalou required special skill. Therefore, the First Lady of the Bedchamber always carried this item with her, accompanying the royalty on any trips. A little knead, and a deft, imperceptible movement slips the bowl under the skirts, which looks from the outside as if the ladies decided to quickly whisper about something in front of the servants. By the way, despite the total number of skirts, the ladies of that time did not wear intimate lingerie, so, at least in this aspect, access to the treasury was facilitated. Of course, what was laid down at the imperial court quickly spread to the noble families, in view of which the fashion for their own First Lady of the Bedchamber quickly spread throughout Europe and Russia. That is why, soon, almost all aristocratic families began to invite only the most proven persons, even if not of noble blood, to the special position. Reflection of the bordalou in the modern world. It can be said that a kind of reflection of bordalou in the modern world have become both the bowls themselves, which are again gaining popularity, and special devices that allow you to cope with the small needs of men, which are called urinals. The main distinguishing feature of modern devices is the ability to fulfill natural needs without unnecessary squatting. including the most technologically advanced devices, to the great disappointment of Tinto Brass, who is still alive today. Allowed to do it through the standard male fly. That is why, most likely, in the very near future, the number of racy situations when the fair sex will be caught at the most inconvenient moment will be significantly reduced, a consequence of emancipation and the struggle for women's rights in the XX century. It should be said that also noble men had special servants, chair chamberlains, who were with the august persons in the most stressful moments of any life. But about these people we will talk already in one of the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, so you don't miss out.